I'm doing phenomenally. Thank you very much. This is the 98th episode of the MFer podcast, and I am hoping against hope that I launched it correctly today. And it looks like I did. I see it on the other screen. Beautiful, good. Because last week, I don't know what happened. I set up my thing, I set up my stream with this new expensive streaming software that I pay for now. I set it all up, custom thumbnail and everything, and then it just started a new stream. Just started a brand new stream, and it was really annoying. But it's working today. It is working today. I see it up on YouTube, and is it up on Rumbaroo? Is it up on Rumbaroo? I hope so. If there is someone in the chat, if you could tell me if my mic sounds good, because last week we were having trouble with that. I'm all over the place. My technical, yeah, okay, everything looks good. Everything looks good, and if someone could tell me if my mic sounds good, that would be, oh crap, that would be super helpful. That would be the bee's knees, the cat's pajamas. But anyway, here we are. I'm actually live on the scheduled stream. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. Hope you guys had a wonderful week. I had a pretty good week. I had a nice time. I played a little golf on Sunday. Beautiful. That game is starting to come together. I'm starting to put together an average bit of golf ability, and I got a new putter from my dad today. He said he bought me one for Christmas. It was very nice of him. It's a very beautiful Odyssey putter, and I love it. Mike sounds good from Mike. Mike says the mic sounds good. Let me see. And I can even put the chats on the stream now. Thank God. Can you see that? Is that there? I hope so. I'm waiting for it to catch up. Yeah. But yeah, no, I had a nice weekend. Had some, had some good times. Got a bunch of stuff I want to talk about today. There's some interesting topics, some interesting news that's been going on. I have been inundated. I was going to make it sound like I've been following it, but I've been inundated by my Twitter feed with just the absolute madness that's going on in Minnesota. And the protests are going on, and we've got all kinds of conflicts with police. There's people, getting dragged out of cars. There's apparently innocent civilians who are getting arrested and then they're detained, and all types of hooey, all types of stuff that's going on. At the center of this controversy is the woman Renee Good, who was shot and killed, some say executed very hyperbolically, when she was interfering with a federal operation in Minnesota. What is the deal with Minnesota? Since when did Minneapolis, Minnesota become the epicenter of political movement in this country? Why does it influence so much of what goes on in this country? I don't know anything about Minneapolis, other than the Timberwolves, and it's in Minnesota. That's about it. That's about all I know about Minneapolis, except for the fact that 5 years ago, a fentanyl addict had a heart attack, and then the entire country erupted into months-long riots. And the whole George Floyd thing happened, and policy changes and all this racism talk and all that. The whole BLM industry was churning, was hitting new heights. And what a lot of people, myself included, might say is an innocent man isn't rotting in jail for that. He might have been a little more forceful than he needed, but he did not kill that guy. That guy died from fentanyl, and he's still in jail. And this came out of Minneapolis as well. And so just last week, this woman, Renee Good, was shot and killed by federal, ICE agents, trying to do what we voted Donald Trump to do, which is to get rid of the millions and millions of illegals that are in this country, namely, starting with all the criminals and the insane asylum rejects. And if you see the rap sheet of the people that they did actually collect from these Minnesota raids, it's horror show. It's like the rogues gallery. These people, it's like forced sodomy of an infant. You're like, what the fuck? Just kill that guy. Just shoot that guy. You know, just execute that motherfucker. But it's like these women, these people, but it is a lot of women, go out and they protest, and they're trying to protect what? The rights of immigrants who commit like crazy crimes in this country and in the country they fled from, and you're trying to protect it, like to do what? To stick it to the chuds? To stick it to the MAGA chuds? I don't know what the hell you're trying to accomplish. Hello, Jay. Are you subscribed? Did they unsubscribe you? It says, but Matt, we have it on excellent authority that illegal immigration isn't a crime. Do you remember that from a few years ago with what's it called? What's that stupid bitch's name? AOC, where she's like, I think it was Tom Homan, and she was in Congress, and she's like, but it's not a crime though. No person can be illegal. She's trying to like, patronize him with her college rhetoric, and he's like actually and he just like has no time for any of it. It's so crazy. It's like, isn't that communism? Right? Like no borders, and isn't a borderless society like a communist utopia? Isn't that the idea? It's like, and I hate to make the boomer points, but you just have to, because it's like, oh well, if you didn't believe in borders, you wouldn't have a gate around your property. So you do believe in the concept. So shut up. And it's it's just so, the thing about it is like it doesn't actually need to be debated, because that's why we elected Trump. We do not have to win this argument. We do not have to convince liberals or leftists or any dissident in this country who wants open. We don't have to convince you, because we elected a guy who's going to enforce the border and is going to deport illegals. We're actually not really all that interested in the conversation. Thanks. We're not really curious about your ideology or what you think about. Well, we don't give a shit. Actually, that's why we elected Trump. It's one of the if you could boil his election down to one issue, it would have been immigration. That would have been the number one reason why he got elected. So we're actually not interested. We are not curious. We're not intellectually examining your arguments or what you think on the subject. In fact, so we're just gonna root for the guy to enforce the law. So in this city, remain subscribed somehow. Great, that is fantastic. Oh yeah, Don Lemon, that was so funny. Don Lemon patronizing the actual illegal immigrant was peak fire. That was so funny. For those who don't know, Zax is a YouTuber friend of mine whom I stream with. I'll be there tomorrow on his channel. If you want to see the cinema clash, if you're a bit of a cinema nerd like myself and Jay there, we debate the merits of different years and which had the better movies. We break it down into categories. It's a lot of fun. But one night on his show, we were talking. He had this video of Don Lemon on the streets of Chicago, and there was this very rational and reasonable Mexican woman who was discussing it with Don, and had a different opinion than the elite, than like just being blanketly pro illegal immigration. And he was such a fumbling retard. It was like he's never actually had to deal with any pushback or any kind of like counter argument. He had nothing. He had no way to even like navigate. He just his tactic, if you can call it that, was to just shout her down and condescend to her. And it was she barely spoke English and just ran circles around this retard. It was pretty cool. It was pretty clutch. But anyway, so getting back into Minnesota, like I said, for whatever reason, we are all just subject to what goes on in fucking Minneapolis. I don't understand. So this woman, Renee Good, was shot and killed by ICE. And, it created a bit of a firestorm. There was all these people online. I was having arguments on Twitter about it, and people were like, oh, look at this. That's sped up. Look at this video. And then the real video came out from the officer's point of view, which pretty much just put the lid. You know what? I'm going to play it in case you haven't seen it, because it is possible that maybe you're not chronically online like me. You don't wake up and look at Twitter and then get mad at 8:30 in the morning, like myself. So we're gonna play the full video, because in my opinion, objectively, it put to bed any debate, any further debate. And it's long, and it's from the officer's point of view. And they the people online Mike's in the chat, so I'm trying not to say the leftists because I know he'll take offense to me calling these creeps leftists. But the people online, they're using like some footage from like across the street. It's like, as you can see, he wasn't hit, and then, using grainy surveillance footage, and then you'll see like another angle. It's like, well, he there he is getting hit. Oh, it was barely moving, going 5 miles an hour. It's this fucking horse shit. Let me see if I can. Why can't I find the full video? I feel like that would have been easy to pull up. Did I bookmark it? I might have bookmarked it. But then here we go. It's 47 seconds long, and it's from the DHS guy's perspective. So let me share the screen. Okay. So this is the thing. Is that showing up? I hope so. I don't know how to use this new fucking this new platform all that well. There we go. It's there. Okay, good. So this is the full video. If you haven't seen it, let's just play it, just for posterity's sake. In case you don't know, this is the video iPhone footage. This isn't even a body cam. This is just the ICE guy. I keep going DHS. The ICE guy was filming this interaction with his own iPhone. So this is directly his perspective of this situation.
I'm not mad at you. Show your face. I'm not mad at you. That's okay. We don't change our plates every morning, just so you know. It'll be the same plate when you come talk to us later. That's fine. U.S. citizen, former fucking veteran. You want to come at us? You want to come at us? I say go get yourself some lunch, big boy. Go ahead.
Out of the car. Get out of the fucking car. Get out of the car.
Whoa!
Good.
And then she died. She got shot 3 times, 1 in the head. What's up, Zax? How you doing, buddy? Okay, so I think that worked. Okay, great. So, to me, and to most rational, normal people, that should have put the entire debate to bed, but it didn't. And a lot of people even people like on the right, are having like these kind of compassionate, sort of like, oh, this is so sad. Let me get my opinion out there, okay? I'm not pro death, as I argued with the chat last week about Somalia, bombing Somalia. I did a little research on that, by the way, too, which we can talk about. But the weird, like, okay, you can say that cop did not have to shoot her. That's A, your opinion, and B, okay, fine. However, and I have maintained this position since BLM, I have maintained this position since Mike Brown. I've had this same position, like, for all these situations universally. If you disobey a direct order from a law enforcement officer, oh well. Whatever happens after that is on you. You did not comply. You did not follow the lawful order. People have this fucking misconception that, like, the cops are like Judge Dredd. Like, they're the ones who lay down sentences. Like, they're the ones who like put people in jail. It's like, no, that all happens in court, motherfucker. So if you have a problem with the way this police officer is treating you, well, go to court about it. That's why we have laws. That's why we have courts. That's what the entire thing is about. And guess what? If they were treating you poorly, if they were acting under like false authority or doing something illegal, congratulations, you're getting a huge payout. So the fact that you're going to stand up to this cop in this situation and you're going to listen to your wife, bad mistake on almost all occasions, and she says, go, baby, go. And she drives at the cop. No, I'm sorry. You fucked up. You fucked up. That is not a way for civil people to behave. You want to protest. You want to go out there and sing your songs and do your chants and saying, okay, fine, whatever. That's not what you were doing. You were impeding a federal officer in what they were trying to accomplish, okay? You're impeding a federal officer's operation. That is not a protest. That's a fucking riot, okay? You were rioting in that moment. And the consequences of that might be a citation. You might be getting arrested. You might be getting a ticket. Like, I've seen other videos of of these guys, these ICE guys, like giving people warnings. There was some woman, you know, she like sped off, and the cop, like the ICE guy, you know, just took her license. Is like, you're gonna get a summons. It's just didn't arrest her, didn't impound her car, which he could have done because she ran a red light in the video, but he didn't. This is not the Gestapo, people. This is what we voted for. This is precisely the issue that Donald Trump was elected to enforce. This isn't, you know, it's like, are they doing a perfect job? No. Are they doing even a good enough job to satisfy me? No. But they are doing the job that they are, A, hired to do, and B, Trump was put in office to accomplish. So your feelings on the issue are irrelevant. Go ahead and protest. Write your congressman, you know, go make your thing. That's fine. But as soon as you start getting involved, as soon as you put yourself in harm's way with a federal officer to try to block the road and stop the protest or stop the operation, you have now put yourself in a very dangerous situation. And the fact that they are saying she's a mom, like that fucking matters. It's like, well then, bitch, why aren't you home with your kids? This is not something. If my sister has 2 kids. If I found out that my sister was out, and she's not a liberal or anything, but if she was out doing, you know, whatever, even some right-wing protests, you know, and put her car and her body in harm's way, I'd be like, Liz, what the fuck? What are you doing? You have children. Think of your children. Do not do that. That's nuts. This woman is a radical, was a, you know, rest in peace, was a radical activist, and put herself in a situation where she thought she was untouchable, and unfortunately she was not. I don't think he had to kill her. I'm not saying it was a definite, but everyone's like going over this thing like it's the fucking Zapruder film. They're going over it like it's, I think I heard, who was saying it? Was it Danny Polishuk was saying it was like an NFL, you know, challenge flag, and they're going over each moment. It's like, yeah, now we know that she was driving away, but in that instant, you don't know that. That cop didn't know that she was going to turn up the road. He had no idea. He had no idea what was going to happen. All he knows was that girl was saying, drive, baby, drive, and the car is right in front of him, and she drove off. Now, I've heard, I think it was Tucker Carlson was talking about how law enforcement officials are not really supposed to do that. You're not really supposed to position yourself in the front of a car for that exact reason. We're splitting hairs here, man. He did. And she was told by law enforcement to get out of your car, and she did not. Look, I don't want to see people die. I'm not cheering for it. I do think there's a lot of funny memes going around. I think a lot of them are in very bad taste. I think people are a little too callous about this woman, but in my opinion, no, absolutely not. As soon as you put yourself in that situation, and as soon as you disobeyed a direct order from a federal officer, that's it, man. That is on you. You fucked up. Just comply. Just fucking comply. That applies to all people in all time. Yeah, I've been in situations where the police were taking advantage or were putting me in a situation where I didn't want to be in, sure. But I didn't fucking start fighting the cop. And if I did and got shot, that's on me. You need to respect law enforcement. I don't care if the fact you disagree. That's what court is for. That's why we have courts. That's why we have these institutions to sort through all this shit. And everything's videotaped now, okay? So if they're going to be abusive, if they're going to be shitty, it'll get sorted out. And you'll get a giant payday. But that's not what's going on. And she's a dumb bitch. I'm sorry to speak ill of the dead. I don't like doing that, but she's a dumb bitch for even being there, 1. But 2, for driving her car at a federal officer. Whether or not she was driving around him or not, he doesn't know that. In that split second, you're not aware. You don't know. He's not looking at her tire. He can't even see her tire. All he sees is this car is now coming at him, and his life is in jeopardy. That's not a fucking crime. You know, maybe he could have just jumped out of the way. You know, he could have. Okay, fair. That doesn't mean that this, like, was a wholly unjustified shooting. This is bullshit, you know? What are you fucking doing driving your car at a federal officer? And so I don't feel any compassion for her. I'm not happy she's dead. I'm not like, but I don't feel any compassion. What are you doing? I feel as much compassion for her as I felt for Mike Brown. It's like, oh, he was unarmed, shot in the back. It's like, he punched a cop in the face. What did you think was going to happen? Why did you think you could do that? Why did you think that that was an acceptable way to behave in society? If you punch an armed officer whose job it is to uphold and enforce the law, and you get killed in the process, bitch, that's what happens. If I get into a fight with a man on the street, not a cop, just a random guy, and I fucking, fall down. This happens where people get paralyzed. They hit the back of their head on like the pavement. They get paralyzed. It's my fault for getting in that fucking fight. Unless of course I was just, someone dove at me. It was like a robbery or something like that. But if I had any ability to walk away from that fight and not get into it, but I end up getting hurt, that's on me for getting in the fight. Okay? Yeah, it's wrong of them to do that. Fine. But it's still, you bear a degree of responsibility. And she bears all the responsibility for disobeying a direct order from a federal officer and driving her fucking car at him. What did she think was going to happen? Best case scenario, she gets away and then they pull her over right away, or they, go into some kind of a car chase. Like, what was the possibility? He said, get out of the car. You didn't. Not only did you not do that, you drove at a federal officer. That's on you, bitch. What are you doing? That is on you. I'm sorry. I don't have any compassion, I don't. I'm not like I said, I'm not celebrating her death. I'm not sharing the distasteful memes, but nah, absolutely not. Like, you're an adult, you're not a kid. You're not a teenager who got caught up by some political trend on TikTok. You're in your 30s. You are an adult woman. You know what you're doing. And, oh, well, that's what happens when you do shit like that. That's why you don't do shit like that. And simply because you think you're right and all your friends think he's a Nazi, Trump, blah, blah, doesn't matter. Doesn't fucking matter. You still need to obey the law. And you still cannot drive your car at cops and expect nothing to happen. He's well within his rights to shoot you. That's a deadly weapon. Oh, she was driving away. He didn't know that. There's no way he could have known that. And it's completely absurd for anyone to suggest otherwise. That's just becomes ideology battle. It is no there is no comparison. Like you can't look at something like that and think like, oh no, objectively the cop murdered her. Like, no, you just think that because you're on the side of ICE is bad and Trump is bad. That's why you feel that way. That's why Mark Ruffalo goes to the Golden Globes with a Renee Good pin on. These fucking retards, you know what I mean? There is objectively was a good shooting. Did he have to do it? Not necessarily had to, but what the fuck are you doing driving your car to federal? Because the thing is, now we all know she went right. But in that instant, what if she didn't? What if she just ran straight over him? He should just take that? He should just get run over on the chance that she's not going to do it? As far as he knows, he was about to get killed. He was about to be run over by this dumb bitch who was being, as you could see, combative to the. Now she's saying, I don't have a problem with you. It's like, okay, well, you are impeding our operation. So it seems like you might have a problem with me. And her wife was just antagonizing the cop to his face, like basically threatening to fight him, which is laughable. But they were not like peaceful demonstrators that just got. They were antagonizing these guys, and then she drove her car right at him. Oh, well. What are you doing that, you dumb bitch? Sorry. I'm sorry that's harsh, but I don't know. Like, I know like Daryl Cooper, on Scott Horton's show on Friday would have this like outpouring of like empathy, and it's just like, what? Why? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not like, I get like he's a very empathetic human being. I mean, that's his style of storytelling. And I'm not like happy she's dead. There's a funeral. There's a family that lost a dog. I get all that. That sucks. But you did it to yourself. You weren't murdered. This was you playing some fucking revolutionary games. You thought you were going to stand up to the big bad, the Gestapo. And then you drove your car at them and got killed in the process. That's too fucking bad. But you're retarded for even doing that. What up, Sentient Dildo? How you doing, brother? Listless. Hi, Listless. What's up? Split-second decisions happen. Yeah. And he doesn't know what the hell's going. He doesn't know what her intention is. He doesn't know what she's doing. They told her to get out of the car, and then she ran. And this same cop, like 6 weeks before, had just been dragged by an illegal alien in a similar operation. So he's a little gun shy. He's a little traumatized. I just don't I don't get all this sympathy for her. It's like, there are things that the cops do, that cops have done, that are tragedies, that are crimes, that are wrong. This is not one of them. Okay? Yeah, it's like after the fact, you can say he didn't have to shoot her, but in that instant, he doesn't know what the hell's going to happen to him. She should have just got out of the fucking car. She should have just complied. And then none of this would happen. And it's like, oh, fucking bootlicker. It's like, we have laws. We are a nation of laws. That's what the United States of America is. If you don't respect the laws here, you're an anarchist. Then get the fuck out. Like, go somewhere where they, like, Angola. Go somewhere like Congo, where it's just lawlessness. See how long you last. Unfucking believable. What's up, Boosh? She made a dozen decisions that day that directly led to her death. Yeah, well, chief amongst them, stopping a federal officer in their operation and then driving her car at one. I don't know. I'm not saying like I said, I'm not celebrating her death, but this like outpouring of sympathy. It's like, why? She did that to herself. That was her decision to A, be there, and to B, drive her car at a federal officer. Why is it just because she's a woman we're supposed to have more sympathy for her, or because she's a mother? Like, I feel like that's even reasons to have less. It's like you have so little regard for your children that you're putting yourself in this dangerous situation to go play revolutionary with your wife. Go home. What are you doing? Why are you here? And it ain't preventing shit. And in all places, Minneapolis, where we just was exposed billions and billions of dollars worth of fraud. You think it's important for you to put your life on the line to prevent that from stopping? What? Do you hate? Do you want this country to fail? Are you trying to destroy this country? It's like, I'm not on your side in any way whatsoever. I believe in your right to protest. I do. And beyond, the kind of the way it's like, well, you have to get a permit. It has to be. I believe in your right to go somewhere and make your voice heard. I think that is completely that is good. That is very American. And but this idea that you're going to go impede, that's not protesting. You're starting a riot. So fuck off. The revolution will be monetized. I think I said in someone's comment section that the revolution will be live streamed, which I thought was quite clever, Sentient Dildo. Minneapolis is a sanctuary city. Ignoring federal law is already part of their shtick. Well, I have an article to talk about that. Once I get through some of these chats, I will discuss something in that line. Yes, absolutely, Bush. Is not absolutely not protest. That's what I mean. This is a listless. She's gone because a bunch of scammers that shove millions of dollars in suitcases. It's absurd. And we're supporting a fucking terrorist organization, by the way. However you feel about Al-Shabaab or Al-Shabaab, whatever it is, they are supporting terror. They are a Sharia law terrorist group. Using federal, not that using federal tax-paying dollars to pay for terrorism is anything new, but you're okay with that? That's what you want? You want people to come into this country, scam your money that you work for, the taxes you pay, and they're going to go bring them back to Somalia to support jihadi terror? Really? I'd say you're a fucking that's treason. I'd say, you're an enemy of the state then. You want to subvert this country and use its funds. What are you, Obama? Who are you, Barack Obama? You're going to use federal taxpayer dollars for terrorism? Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Let me see what else you guys are saying. Exactly. I just pointed the gun at her, officer. Why did you shoot me? This whole chat thing is not great. I don't love this new chat. Boosh. She shouldn't have been chasing ice. She shouldn't have been blocking the road. She shouldn't have been leaning on the horn. Her girlfriend shouldn't have been escalating. She should have stayed in the car. All these things. Shouldn't have stayed in the car. Yes, all of those things are correct. All of those. Go ahead and talk shit. Go run your mouth to the cops. That's fine. Just do it from the sidewalk. Don't impede their operation, I think it's like within your right to talk shit to police officers. Look, if there's consequences in that, there's consequences in that. You're a big, tough revolutionary. Go fight for it. Revolutionaries go to jail. Martin Luther King went to jail. You know what I mean? Gandhi went to jail. This happens. That's if you believe in the cause, you're gonna go to jail sometimes. But you don't. You don't even know why you disagree. You just know that you disagree. That right-wing chuds like me think it's a good thing that they're kicking out illegals out of Minneapolis. And you just know you don't like that. You don't know why. You don't have any real foundation or convictions as to why. You just know that you don't. What up, Zax? Nah, Maddie, they think the fraud is fake. They probably do. But like, I don't have any... You know, I was talking with my buddy Mike. He might come on the show in a little bit. But I was talking with him earlier about... he's like a leftist, you know, and he reads all these like leftist books. And he wants me to read some of them. You know, because he feels the ideas are complex and I don't give them enough credit. And I should read some of these ideas. Now, I haven't necessarily agreed to do that because I don't know that I want to spend all this time investigating an ideology that I already pretty much completely disagree with. But the thing I said about, like, you know, I'm willing to listen to left-wing critiques of things. I am, but I'm not willing to listen to lying. If you're just gonna, like, I was watching the the Ken Burns Revolutionary War documentary the other night, and I had to turn it off because I was like, this is fucking propaganda, man. Like, I'm sure there's good history in there, but there's one point where, you know, they're talking about what the country was like before the Revolutionary War, and they're talking about, and slavery was legal from Georgia to Maine. Yeah, well, you left out the fact that slavery was legal in the entire world at that point. Everywhere. No one had abolished it. The first place to abolish it was fucking Haiti in like 1802. And that's because they just killed all the slave owners. They just killed everyone on the island. It wasn't everywhere in the world it was legal. And in fact, you know, these evil white people that you hate so much, the British were the ones who stamped it out across the world. They enforced a no slavery rule. And there were wars in these Arab places to you know, the Barbary Coast and all that. There were wars in these places to keep slavery. Okay, so this picture of, like, I can't stand that the type of you know, depiction of the United States of America as being uniquely evil and responsible for slavery is absolute horseshit, and I hate it. I really can't stand it. I had to turn the documentary off because, like, this is fucking propaganda, man. This is fucking propaganda. Ken Burns is shit. Ascension dildo? Yeah, I think so, man. Unfortunately, it's true. This is propaganda. You're trying to get me to draw a conclusion. You're not telling the truth. You're not just educating me. You're trying to get me to draw a modern day political conclusion, and I will not do it. I'd like to learn more about the Revolutionary War. I'd love to learn more about the history of this country, what it was like before, all that stuff. That's all fine and good. I'm game for that. I'm not game for lies. I won't listen to lies. You know, just like going back to that whole leftist thing. I'll be willing to listen to, like, leftist concepts, but I'm not willing to listen to lies. You know, I just won't. Like, if you're gonna pin everything on capitalism, it's just like, it isn't all capitalism. I can't listen to that. I'll be, you know, there might be a good chunk of it that can be, you know, pinned on capitalism or free markets or the phony free market that we have in this country. Fine, I'll listen to that. I'm completely willing to hear that out. But you have to be honest. You can't just, it can't all fit into your worldview nice and neat, because it's not the reality. It just isn't. And so I'm just not curious. It's just like, I don't know. What's one good idea they have? So start there. If they have a good idea, maybe I'll investigate it. Shut the fuck up, Sension Dildo. The best way to defeat your enemies is to know absolutely nothing about them, Sun Tzu. That's pretty funny. You think, I mean, it's like, I know enough. I know enough. I read James Lindsay's cynical theories. That's all I need. That's it. I got it all wrapped up. No, you're probably right, but I mean, Jesus Christ, these things are tomes. And these leftists, they don't write, like, in plain language. You know, everything's very academic. And it's like, oh, this is work, man. I have to decode what the hell this guy's trying to say. I'm just, like, mired in this dense text, you know? And I think a lot of them, they write in a way to make themselves sound more, like, smarter than they are. I almost said more smart. Who's the fucking idiot here? listless. It's not capitalism they hate, it's corporatism, and that does suck in a lot of ways. Hey, no arguments here. I think corporatism sucks dick. But they do pin it on capitalism a lot. I hear this all the time. You know, it's just capitalism. It's just, you know, anytime someone, you know, who does a job that has almost no market value, isn't getting six figures, fucking capitalism. It's just like, okay. Coded language. They just have never read an economics book, so they can't articulate that at all. No, they have read economics book, or they listen to, you know, economic theory or whatever. It's just always from one perspective. It's just always the, you know, and you know what's really bad? Capitalism and Europeans. All right, man. Not really all that curious. Just not all that curious. All right. So to the immigration point, to the whole thing with like the sanctuary cities and what Goodwin was saying, this just came out today, and it was like, oh, is the Trump administration getting based again? Is the Trump administration coming around and actually doing things I want it to do? Fucking hope so. So this is the New York Post, you know, that bastion of truth, the New York Post. Trump announces sanctuary cities and states will lose federal funds on February 1st. Let's fucking go. Like, the idea that there even were sanctuary cities is treason. Like, for that to be a valid policy or a valid worldview, you would have to somehow know that every single person that crossed that border has no malicious intent, and you just can't know that. I don't deny that the majority of immigrants that come here, especially from, you know, Latin America, South America, are just looking for a better life. I do think that that's true. I know a lot of them. They're all my fucking neighbors. This neighborhood was not all fucking Salvadorian, you know, 2 years ago. It is now. It's everyone. I'm the only white person in this whole complex now. I swear to God. I don't see one fucking, like, you know, heritage American anywhere. And they're generally nice people. They're a bit dirty. They leave trash around. I've noticed an increase of roaches recently. They play really loud music really late into the night, and I can't stand it. But overall, they're nice people. They mean well. They're not cartel members, as far as I can tell. But that's not to say that there aren't also those people who stream across the border. When you have fucking Africans literally from Africa streaming across the border, the world is wide open. Chinese nationals, you got spies, terrorists, cartel members. They're all going to be included in this group, because why wouldn't they? If these are nefarious people who want to exploit the American populace for whatever reason, whether to kill them for political gain or to sell them narcotics or, you know, to spy on them for a foreign power's gain, they would exploit that weakness in a second. Of course they would. Why wouldn't they? So you'd have to make that assumption because it's the most rational conclusion. So the idea that you have sanctuary cities is fucking crazy. That's nuts to me. So anyway, so Trump announces sanctuary cities and states will lose federal funds on February 1st. Washington, President Trump says he's preparing to halt federal funding. Now, see, it seems saying federal funding. Now, is that all federal funding, or is it just a specific kind? Because there was something like something came out today that Trump was revoking the temporary protection status of the Somalians. But that only applied to like a few thousand of them. I don't even think it was 10,000. There's something like 200,000 Somalis in Minnesota. And you're like, so you're going to take care of 1% of the problem? I just don't think that that's quite enough, man. So federal funding, sanctuary. Okay. Potentially yanking billions in revenue in response to laws barring cooperation with immigration agents. Yeah, that's the other thing, too, is these local cops are told to not help. What the fuck are you doing? Are you hoping it de-escalates? You hoping it turns into a riot? Are you hoping that, federal agents get killed? Is that your goal? Just like, we can't have what Trump wants. It's like, that's not your decision. These are federal laws. That's why we elected him. Starting February 1st, we're not making any payments to sanctuary cities or states having sanctuary cities because they do everything possible to protect criminals at the expense of American citizens, Trump said in a speech in Detroit. It breeds fraud and crime and all the problems that come. Preach it. So we're not making any payment that supports sanctuary cities. Fucking based. Good. We shouldn't have done that. That should have been an executive order day one. These people need to have their fucking legs cut out from under them, metaphorically. A list published in August by the Justice Department identifies 12 states, including California, Illinois, and New York, and 5 of the nation's 10 largest cities, such as the Big Apple, as sanctuary jurisdictions. Advocates of sanctuary laws argue that they make illegal immigrants who are crime victims feel comfortable engaging with law enforcement. Yeah. Opponents highlight the fact that the policies prevent the deportation of violent criminals when prisons and jails balk at detainer requests from U.S. Immigrations and Customs Enforcement. What is that? Opponents highlight the fact that the policies prevent the deportation of violent criminals. Why would that be? Why would that hurt deportation? Does anyone understand that? Does anyone get that in the chat? Can you guys translate for my dumbass? It's unclear how comprehensive the financial pullback would be and if certain programs such as state-administered Medicaid and food stamps would be exempted. Trump has long threatened to withhold federal funds over policy disagreements with Democrats, including threatening in 2020 to pull money from alleged anarchist jurisdictions, which he should have done because that's exactly what they were, that experienced sustained disorder after the murder of George Floyd. The fentanyl overdose death of George Floyd. The president and his team have been increasingly willing to follow through during his second term with Attorney General Pam Bondi, we all love her, last February throttling federal law enforcement resources for sanctuary jurisdictions. Good. Good. If there's no incentives, they can't flee. If they can't flee, we don't have an immigration problem. But there's incentives. There's financial incentives, whether it be welfare, medical treatment, sanctuary cities where you can just go live if you want. That's fine. Unbelievable. Fucking, what's up, Nadia? Nadia? Fucking Illinois, worst state in the union. I was texting Nadia last night. I refrained from being mean, but I was curious if she had started her New Vegas journey because she said she was going to start playing New Vegas. And I was playing New Vegas. I picked it up. It was my protest into the Fallout show. I was like, God damn, I'll show them. I'm going to go play the old good game. That's as good as I remember. It really is just the best game ever made. If you've never played it, I highly recommend it. Highly recommend it. Listless. Am I literally seeing an ad suggesting you don't have ADHD and you are just too smart? That was just me. That came up because I was Googling it. Am I just absolutely brilliant or I have ADHD? I think it's because I'm so smart. I think it's because I'm so brilliant. I don't know why that's there. Go Minnesota, as in go away, this fucking state. Between the fucking ICE protests, the Somali fraud, and the George Floyd riots, this fucking city sucks. How did it become? I genuinely want to know how it became a gateway to just political unrest. Fucking Minnesota, of all places. You know, LA, New York City, San Francisco. Okay, we understand that. Minnesota? How did that get taken over by... and did you see them? They changed the flag? I didn't know this. I really genuinely didn't know that. But, like, Tim Walz, like, changed the flag to look like the Somalian flag. And it wasn't even, like, one of those things where it had, like, a Confederate flag in it. You know? Where, like, with Mississippi or Georgia, we're kind of like, it's a little rough. I kind of understand the frustration. I don't think they should change it, but I get why people might want them to. This one wasn't anything like that. It was like a flower or some shit, and he changed it to Somali flag. It's like, you piece of shit. Apparently, they vote as a block. Apparently, all the Somalians just vote one way. So if you can court the Somalians, you can stay in power for quite a bit. Nadia. I almost moved to Minneapolis right before George Floyd, but Chris ended up not getting the job. Okay, well, thanks for sharing. That's like my girlfriend or my ex-girlfriend would say stuff like that, where she'd give me like all the details, you know, like I'm going to decorate for Christmas. Like, okay. And then she would just give me like a page of texts of like all the, like, she's going to go get it out from the closet. And then she's going to, I'm like, okay. Like, I don't know that I needed all those details. I don't know that helps me or informs me in any way, but thanks for sharing. God works in mysterious ways. Nautya. I like that, nautya. We need to give the federal government more powers. No, I don't think that that's true. I think we need to cut spending. I saw that. I don't know if it went through, but I saw like that last week. Trump wants to make the Department of War $1.5 trillion, basically doubling it from last year. Yo, are we going to war? Are we? Is a world war with China and Russia starting? Is that going to happen? Because what the fuck? That is a wartime. That's a wartime budget if I've ever seen one. And the whole thing with us securing oil in Venezuela. It's like, is that what's going on? Are we about to go to war? This is pretty crazy. No, I don't think the federal government needs to have more powers, but I don't think they should be helping states that are literally committing treason against the United States. No. Like I said, because you don't know who are in all. You haven't vetted all these immigrants. Did you remember? Does anyone remember the Biden administration where they're lifting up the razor wire fence and there's just floods and floods of people coming into the country? We vetted all of them. We know that those aren't terrorists, or those aren't cartel like head choppers. We know that for sure. They're not Chinese spies. We know all of that. Really? How the fuck can you possibly be sure? So no, I don't. I want the federal government to enforce the laws that we elected Donald Trump to enforce. That's why we elected him. We don't think this unchecked immigration is good for the country, and we want it to stop. And we don't really give a fuck if you don't like it. We're beyond debating it. Debate was, a few years ago. We just want it now, and it's going to happen. We're going to fight for it to happen. This list is saying, the Forever Wars hint is in the name. Yeah, but this is different, right? This is more like war. Not sustained conflict to drain the country's resources and give them to defense contractors and, satisfies Israel's foreign policy needs. That's war. That's World War II war. That's scary. And let's not forget, thermonuclear war, also very much on the table in a war with China or Russia. So I don't know. I really hope we don't go to war with them. I really hope. Well, and let's be real. No one gives a crap what Denmark thinks. Based. You are correct. We're not going to let him do it. Exactly how are you not going to let him do it? With what? NATO? You mean the thing that we pay for? The 75% is ours? What exactly the fuck are you going to do, Denmark? You going to take your fucking police force and against the air cav? I'm not saying I want to go to war with Denmark, but shut the fuck up. What are you going to do? What exactly are you going to do, Denmark? You guys all gave up your militaries. Oops. Now we get to decide shit. I am thinking of the profits, bro. I want to make so much money for this country, dude. I want to give so many Jewish oligarchs billions of dollars, bro. That would be so based. It'd be so based if Larry Ellison kept making more money. I would love that, dude. I hope Marion Adelson, makes more billions. That'd be so based. That's what MAGA is about. Enriching the Jewish oligarchs, man. That's what's so sick. That's so based. So based. Listless. Greenland is also a giant rock. There's minerals in there for sure. We all know what that means. Get the fuck out of the way, Denmark is what that means. Did you see, Listless? I saw this. Apparently, Alberta is trying to, secede from Canada. They're trying to leave. And there seems to be a lot of local support for it. I didn't look into this. I just happened to see a video on Twitter where there was, lines and lines and lines of people voting for Albertans to leave Canada. I was like, no way. I mean, look, Canada, whew, boy, you talk about demographic change. From what I've read, it just seems like you wouldn't even recognize Canada. It's just now it's just Bangladesh. It's crazy. Shalom. Shalom to you, sentient dildo. Shalom to you. don't like that this chat. So when I'm looking at the chat, right, this public chat, and I'm like, I scroll up to see what you guys were saying, and the second someone else like puts a chat, it goes right back to the bottom. Really annoying. I'm trying to see. Oh, okay. I'm gonna do a little video game talk, and then we will get back into politics. New Vegas has mod list now. Did you guys see, if you care, because I'm a bit of a video game nerd, but you know remember that game Starfield, the Bethesda game that came out that just absolutely tanked and no one liked? And Az's video, remember Az had that viral video, fucking pronouns. Remember that? Well, apparently a group of modders turned it into like a Star Wars game, and I gotta be honest, shit looks pretty awesome. I gotta be completely honest. I don't really like supporting Bethesda because they absolutely destroyed Fallout. They've bastardized it. They've made this god awful show, and it's just something that I love too much to just see like just defiled. It really bothers me. So I don't really want to give them money. But for this mod, I might. I'm gonna see if I can't find the video. We'll just play a little bit of it. It was by a YouTuber, put it out there. His name is where are you? Why can't I find it? Why can't I find the video? I just watched it. There. Nope, that's Mr. Plinkett. That is not that. Why? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? I don't remember. Star Wars Starfield. It looked sick. It looked really cool. And look, I know Star Wars is cringe. I get it. Here we go. I understand that. Don't get me wrong. I get it. But there's still that little kid inside of me that loves it. There's still that kid inside of me that absolutely just would love new Star Wars content. Now, I've obviously given up on that. I'm not naive. But so they modded Starfield and made it all look like Star Wars and Coruscant and all this shit. And you can go to Tatooine and you can buy a house on Tatooine and you can buy like the episode 1, those like yellow fighter things. I gotta be honest. Are you taking off there, Nadia? Bye-bye, Nadia. But yeah, there is part of me that was like, oh my God, am I gonna buy Starfield just for this mod? And apparently, like, it's its own game. Like, it's got its own missions and it's all. And I was just like, oh, bro, you can buy the Millennium Falcon. Like, I know, I get it. Star Wars is so cringe now, and even I almost talking about it, I think, is cringe at this point. But man, this looked sick. This looks so sick. I gotta be honest. Like, let me just scroll in the video because I think he goes to Tatooine at one point. Yeah, and it just looks, I mean, so goddamn cool. I can't not have a little bit of a nerd out over this. I understand if you guys think this is gay and lame. I get it, but I don't. I think it's fucking cool, and I kind of want to play it, but I don't want to have to pay. Looks like a game for real revolutionaries, real based patriots like me. I'd say I'm a based revolutionary patriot, Sentient Dildo. Wouldn't you agree? Wouldn't that be how you'd characterize me? Do you ever listen to this guy, Matt from Foul Ball Productions? He's a based revolutionary patriot. I have no arguments here. Completely agree. If you guys are curious to watch this video, which I would recommend, I'll drop the link in the chat. It is by Habie, Habie 147. Never heard of him. 883,000 subscribers on YouTube. Crazy. I recommend checking that out. It was very interesting. I thought it was a good, it was really cool. I thought it was fucking cool as hell. So, what else? Oh, this is interesting. Completely not political. I just saw this as I was preparing for this show. I was like, what? What? Apparently, NASA's going back to the moon. Some people might say for the first time. Is that? Can I say that? Is that one of those? Is that like a landmine? Is that like a cartoon rake? Can I say we didn't go to the moon on? Oh, you actually watched that video, listless? That's funny. But it was in my feed because I'm a loser nerd gamer. Hey, me and you. I'm playing New Vegas again. You know how many times I've played New Vegas? On my Steam here. On my Steam, I have it as just under 500 hours. I have it here. But I used to play it on my Mac. I had an iMac, and I didn't really have any games, so I downloaded a ported version, and I played that, till the wheels came off that motherfucker. So I've probably played like 1,000 hours in Fallout New Vegas, which is kind of sad, but I don't care. I love it. So you're in good company, listless. Don't you worry. So check this out. NASA's going back to the moon. NASA sets historic date for returning Americans to the moon after 53 years. Like I said, some would say, yeah, is that one of those things? If I say we didn't go to the moon, is that like will I get like one of those, those little Wikipedia, like content moderation warnings or whatever? I don't care. I think we went to the moon, but I just wonder if it's one of those things I can't say. I don't know where the lines are on YouTube anymore. I don't know what you can't say. I was listening to this Tom Foe, friend of the show, was on the show a few weeks ago. He was on a guy, Jay something. He was on his show. I was listening to the podcast. It was a good episode. Really good conversation. That Tom Foe kid is fucking. He's got something going on, that kid. I like him a lot. I want to say Jay Urban, but that ain't right. There's Jay something. I feel bad because I should give him a shout out because he's a good YouTuber, and he's like got about 11,000 subs, worth plugging. Let me see if I can't find him. Give me just a second here. Jay Burden, Burden, Jay Burden. I might try to get him on the show. Actually, he was really fascinating. But he had Tom on, and they were talking about it, and I guess he got a strike, like a content strike, a community guidelines strike or whatever for saying vaccine or saying something about COVID. And I was like, that's still happening? I don't know if that was a while ago. I don't know how long he's been YouTubing. I just learned that this guy existed, yesterday. But I was like, damn, people still get fucking strikes for shit like that. So I don't know what the rules are on YouTube. I don't even know. Yeah, that's it. Jay Burden, you got it. Good work, Senshin Tildo. Yeah, Jay Burden. Yeah, interesting kid. These Gen Z kids, man, they are fucking locked in. They are dialed the fuck in. Listless. NASA crying wolf again. They can't even get people from the ISS without Elon. You know what NASA could just do instead? Tell the truth. That's right. The American people demand answers. And apparently the Canadian people too. But yeah, so apparently we're going to the moon again, which is interesting. NASA has announced that America is now just weeks away from a historic return to the moon for the first time in over 50 years. The space agent, that is weird. 50 years we haven't gone to the moon. I think there'd be like some reason to go. I want to see a moon base. I want it to be like The Expanse, where there's like Luna, where you can just go. It's like, just like a place to go visit. Just go visit Luna. When the hell are we going to Mars, by the way, Elon? I remember hearing about Mars. We're going to Mars in like 2020. It's 2026. When are we going to Mars, buddy? I want to know. I want us on Mars. I think that's cool as hell. The space agency revealed on Tuesday that the earliest Artemis 2, the first manned mission to the moon since 1997. Okay. The earliest. I guess maybe there's more than one. The first manned mission to the moon since 1972 will launch on February 6th. NASA officials know that the official launch window for Artemis 2 will remain open from January 31st to... Really? It's that soon? With several alternate dates also being picked out. No shit. We're like going in like a few weeks. That's like a month away at the most. That's pretty fascinating. The mission will take NASA astronauts Reed Wiseman, Victor Glover, and Christina Koch. Christina loves cock. I think it's probably Coke. And Canadian Space Agency astronaut Jeremy Hansen on 10-day journey around the moon and back to the Earth. The Artemis 2 mission will not land on the moon's surface. Oh, what the fuck? The first lunar landing, the Artemis program, is scheduled for Artemis 3, currently planned to take place in 2027. Oh, boo. Boo. You got black astronauts now? That's crazy. What else will they come up with? Artemis 2 can't launch on just any day. The timing will depend on precise orbital mechanics, such as where the Earth and Moon are positioned, rocket performance, and weather conditions near the launch site at Kennedy Space Center, the Trump Kennedy Space Center in Florida. February 7th, 8th, 10th, and 11th. Okay, great. I mean, guys, get out your fucking pens and put this in your calendar. Get the logistics nailed down. Well, it could be the 7th. Well, I think I should do it on the 8th. Well, what about the 10th? Now we're talking about the 10th. Do we really? Is that those pertinent details to the average reader? Oh, it could be the 10th. Could be the 8th, though. We haven't ruled that out. All right. Well, they'll do it when they do it. NASA's also picked out dates in early March. And what is up? What is this guy, a fucking scheduling nerd? Got a hard-on for calendars? Artemis 2 will be the first space mission with a human crew in 53 years to go beyond low Earth orbit. But they're just going to go around it. Boo. NASA's new moon rocket lifted off from Launch Pad 39B at Kennedy Space Center in Florida on November 16th, 2022. It's the first test flight of the Artemis program. I think that's kind of sick. I don't know why. I remember... Okay, I was about to say something that I don't know anything about, which is so abnormal for this show. I am normally very educated on the things that I talk about. Iran is weeks away from a nuclear bomb. NASA weeks away from a moon landing. Yeah, I guess they're doing the mission. Could be the 8th or the 7th or even the 10th, Senjin Dildo. And no one's ruling out. Absolutely no one's going to rule out February 11th. I mean, what are they, crazy? Have they lost their mind to rule out the 11th? I don't think so. I don't think anyone could do that. Get back to us on these details, Daily Mail. Keep me updated. Is it the 7th? Uh-oh. What'd you clip? Yeah, I don't know. They're going to send the smart people to the moon base. Sweet. I don't give a shit about the moon, and I have no idea why this is a priority now. Well, if we're going to explore the solar system, we would need somewhere that's outside of Earth's gravity as like a potential launch pad, right? Wouldn't that be the case? Because it takes an enormous amount of fuel and energy to break through the atmosphere. So we would need like a launch pad. If we're gonna, start doing stuff on Mars, which I thought would have already been having had done, according to Elon's timeline. I mean, is that half of astroscience, physics, and exploring the solar system? Is it all timelines? Is it all calendar based? Is that like half of what you have to do? I haven't heard anything about Mars. This is the first I've heard about the moon. Now, I remember there's a movie called Moon that I really like. I think it's a great movie. It was directed by David Bowie's son, who I cannot remember what his name is. It's not Bowie. It's something else. He also directed that Warcraft movie that I don't think people liked. He did another movie with Jake Gyllenhaal that wasn't great. It was like kind of a time travel-y movie. It was okay. But he did this movie called Moon that stars Sam Rockwell, and it's fantastic. It's a really cool concept. It takes place like in the near future, where there's like one guy on the moon monitoring this sort of this moon base that harvests what's called helium-3, which apparently is a real thing. Like, he got the idea to write this script because he was like looking at like real potential uses for like financially beneficial uses to explore the solar system. And apparently, I think this science might be out of date, but at the time, helium-3 was a potential like solution for our energy crisis, our so-called energy crisis on the on back here on planet Earth. And so the guy would watch over the station in these shifts, like a year and a half, like solo, and then they would cycle out. The next guy would come and replace him. There's a big twist in this story, though. There's a big twist, and they get the twist out of the way early, which I think was really smart on their part. They like you. I don't want to reveal it in case you haven't seen it, because it is still a good twist, but it's established in like the first act, which I was like, oh, cool. So the whole movie isn't hinging on this twist. There's actually like a whole other complex story that's like behind it, and a really interesting story as well. And this is an absolutely fantastic movie done on a tiny budget, and the effects still look great. You know, they did like some practical effects and some like light CGI. It looks so good. If you've never seen it, I would recommend it. Oh, you guys have seen it, Boosh? Listless, you've seen it? Sick, yeah. Warcraft was cut to ribbons. Really? Is there a director's cut? Did they do a director's cut of Warcraft? It could have been based. I don't know why. This is what I don't understand about these video game adaptations. You know, and I'm sure people have made this point before. I'm sure I'm not, you know, pioneering new ground here. But I don't get, like, why they don't just tell the story that's in the game. Right? Like, in Warcraft 3, the whole thing with the Lich King, I forget his name, the blonde guy. He's like your hero, right? You're playing as the humans. I could go back and play some Warcraft. That would be fun. I like those games. I wonder how they'd hold up. I mean, StarCraft still holds up. Anyway, you play as like this guy, this hero, and then he goes into like the ice realm and then gets all corrupted by these evil powers, and now he's like the bad guy. It's a great story, you know. It's like really, you know, it's kind of like tempting fate, a little bit like Flying Too Close to the Sun, all that. But the like I say that about like the Fallout series. It's like, why don't you just tell the story of the games? Like, why don't you tell the story of Fallout 1 with like the water chip and all that? It's a great story. Introduce like the super mutants and that whole, I mean, it's a fantastic story. It's so well written. It's all right there for you. And then the second one, you just tell the story of the second game, the third game, New Vegas, like the whole thing. Why don't you just do that? Like, that's already there for you. And most people haven't played those old games. So why don't you just do that with the, I don't get it. Like, the writing is good. People love them for a reason. You think you're just going to come along with your big Hollywood dick and you're just going to fix it all. Are you? You fucking retard. Most of these people, I swear to God, they're barely literate. The idea that they're like these storytelling gurus is crazy. Somehow they're experts. They seem incompetent. Like, you can't tell, you don't even understand like basic story structure. No, here's 15 million to write that script. Kids who say Fallout 4 rules pisses me off. Let's go, Nosferatu. I was saying this on Zax's stream, but it's like that meme with the guy with the rifle and the orange sunglasses. And it's like, what kind of a Fallout fan are you? Yeah, that's how I feel about it. It's like, do you play 1, 2 in New Vegas, or do you play the Bethesda slop? You fucking mindless piggy. You mindless slop feeding piggy. You just like, duh, red roaches, buh. Well, it doesn't make sense that there would be fucking gigantic scorpions in Boston. You know why? Because there are no scorpions in fucking Boston, you retards. It made sense in the Southwest because that's where scorpions live. Bethesda sucks so much, and I hated Fallout 4. It is tedious, and the story is so boring. Who cares? Oh, you're missing kid. It's not interesting. It's not compelling, and plus they got rid of the point. Like that, they did that with Fallout 3. Like, there's no way to, like, the beauty of the Fallout games is that you get to write the story that you want to play. You can be good, you can be bad, you can, you know, do whatever the hell you want. It's an open sandbox, and the story is the game is so well written and all angles so well considered that you can do that. I mean, in Fallout New Vegas, like, you can be like a despot. You can just like mold the wasteland to your own image. You can help the NCR reclaim its proper throne. You can side with Caesar. You can do whatever the fuck you want. It kind of rules. These fucking Bethesda games are on rails. It's like fan fiction. It's like bad fan fiction is what it is. It's such shit. I can't stand it. I like the show. Max isn't an obnoxious psycho anymore. I can't even. It doesn't exist to me. I don't. It doesn't even exist. I'm not even. They're in New Vegas. They're just gonna. I know they're gonna ruin it. I'm not even looking at it. Can't even look at it. You're in love with Ella Pearl. You fucking simp, Boosh. Boosh, you simp. Carrying water for a mid-ass bitch with wide eyes. No, I'm just kidding. She's all right. I don't mind her. I love Fallout 3 when it came out, but the main story stinks. Fallout and New Vegas are the best, in my opinion. Let's fucking go. You're right, of course. And look, when Fallout 3 came out, I absolutely did love it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to sit here and pretend I didn't. But that's because they resurrected this dead franchise that I had already played, you know, who knows, hundreds of hours. I loved 1 and 2 and used to play the absolute shit out of those games for hours, just dialed in, dude. And when it, it died. And it just seemed like there was no more fallout. And when he found out, like, not only is there more fallout, but it's going to be, first person and 3D, I was like, let's go. And, there's good things about it. It's not particularly replayable. It's not a fantastic game. The story's pretty mid. And it's like that it's just the we're gonna save the wasteland. It's like, that's not the fucking point of those games, is to be the savior, right? It's like you do things that impact the wasteland, but it's like, the first one is you're just getting the water chip to, keep your vault alive. You're not trying to save the wasteland. Now it kind of works out that you sort of have to defeat the master, but that's not like the point. It's that kind of like utopian thinking I just don't find interesting. It's the whole thing with it's like the Fallout show. Ooh, we've got unlimited energy. What the fuck? What level of energy demands could there possibly be in this fucking post-apocalyptic world? Are they that high? I feel like you could burn coal and it would probably power the country. Like, how many people are left? The world was destroyed. What are these giant energy demands? I mean, like in New Vegas, they're fighting over the dam, but like, civilization has expanded. It has grown. There is, big energy, but it's like, it's just one dam. The idea that this woman, I got the magic energy particle, you saved it, Does anyone like forget that nuclear power exists and already works? It works great. I don't like all this utopian. We're going to save everybody. Shut the fuck up. Power armors, weapons, vehicles. It's got the power armor that I like. I like the power armor. It's cool. It got the laser rifle. Fuck off. Fucking bullshit. All right, Osiris Reborn. Matt, you better stream. You can J-Spurg the whole time you play it if you need to. Bro, I will. Hand to God. When Osiris Reborn comes out, maybe I'll stream the whole game. Maybe I'll become Asmongold and I'll just stream 12 hours a day. I don't know, but when that comes out, I will be playing it. I will be playing it quite a bit. I'm trying not to J-Spurg too much. I didn't J-Spurg today, did I? No, I didn't. I talked about immigration. Maybe made some jokes, but I didn't. I'm trying not to. Okay? I'm trying to watch that. I did put out a video about Megyn Kelly coming around and being kind of based. No one watched it. I don't know. Maybe the thumbnail and the title. Maybe no one cares about Megyn Kelly. I thought it was interesting because Megyn Kelly is like, she's a long time like Fox News lady. And she still talks to a lot of people. I don't go to her for her ideas, but the fact that she like was pushed around by Zionists and was like, no, I'm not just gonna cut these people off because you tell me to. And then and furthermore, why do I like Israel? What is the deal with that? I thought it was a fucking great video topic. No one else agreed. I think as of now, it's got like 30 views. I guess I suck at making thumbnails or compelling titles or writing trends. I haven't figured out YouTube at all. It's been 5 years. I still have fucking no idea what I'm doing. But I thought it was a good video. I thought it was a good subject. What do you think of Klaus Kinski? Is that leftist guy? I don't know much about him. I don't know enough to have that. Clip that Heil. I didn't Heil. Fuck you. Matt, take a shot and watch this. You're just going to throw me a random short in the middle of this stream? I don't know what the hell it's going to be. Oh, dude, what are we getting into here? I don't know what that is. Is it muted? Oh, I have it muted. I don't know what that is. I'm not getting into that right now. I'd have to look at that. I don't know. I do not hate Mass Effect. How dare you, Zax? I love Mass Effect. I just don't think 3 is. I think 3 kind of sucks. They just kind of changed everything. I didn't, there's things about Mass Effect lore I didn't like. I understand why they did things, but I don't like the fact that in Mass Effect 1, you have unlimited ammo. They figured out a way to like shave metal and then all of a sudden, like now there's like magazines. You're like, that's a step back, technologically speaking. Like a soldier having unlimited ammo versus like, oh, now we've got to change out this magazine thing that has. It's like, you think it would be better for a soldier in combat to have what, 30 rounds or unlimited? I think probably unlimited would be better for the soldier in combat. But it's like, I get it. They had to change the mechanics. I understand. But it's like from a lore perspective, it's like you took a step back. It's like, well, we're not doing the fast and light thing. Now we're just doing standard, combustion engines. It's like, okay, it doesn't make any sense. Would you be down for Quarian pussy? Quarians are the ones with the mask on, right? I don't know what they look like. They always make the bodies sexy, but I don't know. The Quarians they could have like tentacles under there. I have no idea. They always have just some kind of mask on. I think, there's like the blue girl. I think I banged her. Can I just say this? I absolutely hate romance in video games. I don't give a shit about the romance option in video games. I've seen people who are like, oh, there's no romance option. Who the fuck wants that? Why do you want a romance in a video game? Who gives a shit? Who cares? I got like penalized while I was playing Baldur's Gate because I didn't romance anybody. I'm like, yeah, because it's a video game, but it's like a power fantasy where I get to go like thwart the bad guys with magic and weapons. Why the flying fuck would I want to have a fake romance in a video game? Ew, dude, no, that's gay as hell. Why? Why the hell would I ever want that? Why does anybody want that? Why is that appealing? It's like I'm watching that show Landman, right? And it's good, right? It's like, it's interesting. It's dealing with the ins and outs of like the oil industry, which is not a show, not a subject, like that, like a setting that I know of any other show or movie that I can really think of, at least in recent years. And so it's interesting. And they got to deal with like the cartels. And there's like, there's the tension there. And there's like, Monty's he's having a heart attack. Is he going to die? There's all this high stakes. And then in the middle, we're just watching like the daughter have like a romance with some fucking football player. It's like, I don't give a shit. I don't care. Why is this here? Even the kids' romance with the Mexican girl is just kind of like, all right, well, at least this is high stakes. There's so much romance thrown in the middle of that show. And I'm like, why? I'm not saying like I'm averse to it completely, but like, how many romance plot lines are we going to juggle? It's just like a video game. It's like, that's not why I play video games, to have some fucking flat, dull romance like quest option. Gay. I don't want to do that. Okay, thanks for sharing, Nosferatu. You jerked off to Duke Nukem when they showed tits in the Hollywood logo. Okay, well, that's weird. Thanks for letting us all know. That's definitely for public consumption. We all need to be informed of that. I mean, when I was a kid, of course, in the 90s, it was so exciting. But now it's like porn's like a problem. You know what I mean? For society. We have so much porn. We literally have like people who go to, meetings, like, Porn Addicts Anonymous. That's how rampant it is now. So I don't know. Only video games I like is what? I'm not saying that out loud, you son of a bitch. What are you talking about? Where'd you get? I don't even get the joke. Like, I get why it'd be fucked up if I said that out loud, but like, I don't understand. You're so fucking weird, Nosferatu. You're so fucking weird. You don't have to play that way, though. Just what's fun for you. I know, but look, of course, and I don't. But I just don't understand like why people care that much about the romance option in video games. So, like, I think that's fucking weird. Like, it's fake. Like, I don't. It's a video game. Like, I'm going to war. You know what I mean? I can have romances in real life. I can't actually be a fucking magic user. I actually can't cast Fireball in real life, I don't know. All right. Anything else? NASA. I mean, NASA going to the moon is kind of interesting. There's some Mike Tomlin steps down. Like, I don't know if I know you guys aren't coming here for sports talk. I understand, but I'll just say this. I guess the coach of the Steelers stepped down by getting absolutely stomped on by the Texans last night. Something like 30-7, or it was an absolute rout. And Mike Tomlin stepped down. And why that's interesting, why I felt the need to talk about it, is because, I like football. I'm a Jets fan. The Jets, terrible organization. They cycle through coaches like every few years. The Steelers, in their entire history, have had 4 coaches, and Mike Tomlin's one of them. 4. And he's stepping down. That's crazy. I just think that that's absolutely nuts and worth remarking on. Like, going back into the 70s, 4 fucking coaches. Mike Tomlin's the 4th or the 5th, but it's like they've only had like a handful of coaches, and now he's stepping down. It's like end of an era. Never had a losing season, I don't think either. It's crazy. Not a big deal. Really not worth getting into, but I just wanted to mention it because I just think that's nuts. Like, that's just such a well-run organization. And that's how good, like, that's the difference. That's the dichotomy. It's like the Jets last year fired Saleh, their coach, in the middle of the season, like week 4. The season wasn't even over. And now he's coaching the 49ers and they're, advancing in the playoffs. Fucking terrible organization. Paulie, what up, dog? How you doing, brother? Are you saying what the fuck to this crazy chat? I don't know. What are you saying what the fuck to? My football non sequitur? Hello, Paulie. What's going on? Matt, you're being weird about it because you actually accidentally fucked Hans and Kingdom Come Deliverance too. I did not fuck Hans Capon in Kingdom Come Deliverance too. I didn't even know, like, I knew that was a thing, but I thought it was going to be more overt. It's like you really have to make an effort to create a sexual relationship with. I don't think you should be able to. That's weird. Friends are not potential sexual partners. They're your friends. It's fucking weird. But you really have to try to fuck Hans in that game. It's like, it's not that big of a deal. There were some other woke elements to it, but they are so fringe. You could even just avoid those entire quests if you want. It's a fucking masterpiece. I don't care what anyone says. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is one of the best games I've ever played in my entire life. It was a fantastic experience, and I, can't say enough praise about it. Can't say enough. They should just change. How many fucking Jeet jokes are you gonna make in this stream? You just trying to get me to. You're just hoping one will catch. You're just like a fisherman. Just keep casting out. One'll pull one in. We're gonna eat tonight. Rex Ryan's wife has a Mark Sanchez tattoo. Oh, that's right. Yeah, she does. That was so weird. And Mark Sanchez, I think, is going to prison. He got stabbed. Remember? I guess he like body slammed some old man or some shit like that. Absolutely crazy. Dirty Sanchez. I'm finishing up Kingdom Come 1 and can't wait to play 2. Dude, I have not played 1, and I was thinking about going to play it because I loved 2 so much. But I don't know. I've heard it's not as good. I heard like it's janky. The combat's not great. I don't know. I've never played a fucking game where I felt like I advanced in the skills in such a tangible way. When you first start playing that game, you are like helpless in Kingdom Come 2. You can't fight, fighting with a sword. You get killed by random bandits. You try to use the bow. It's like he's never held a bow in his life. And you have to, but once you build those skills, you become like an assassin. It's so cool. Like, it's so rewarding. Those actual, the Kingdom game. That's right. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. Ryan, before you end it, don't be a Zionist shill and play this. Don't tell me what to do. What is this? I don't even know who this is. Oh, Elon. This is long. I'm not playing this. I'm not playing that. You guys can watch it on your own time. That is too long. There's not even dialogue. I'm not saying that. Dude, what the fuck? KCD1 is clunky, but based? Well, I liked based things. That's all I only consumed based media, okay? Only Christian nationalist media. That's it. That's all I consume. You keep your fucking lib, goy slop, garbage, all right? I don't want it. I'm only playing based things. Based only. No, I bet it is. I mean, it's so sick. The second one is fucking so sick. I was not ready for how good that game was. It was unbelievable. Unbelievable. They streamlined it more in KCD2. It's absolutely unforgiving. Oh, really? We'll go. Oh, the game is unforgiving. Oh, I believe it. Oh, I'm sure. Because this one was fucking brutal. I didn't quite understand it. Like, I started the main quest. I thought, like, oh, I've done enough side quests. I'll go into the main quest. Oh, that was a horrible mistake because I was not ready for that and got absolutely fucking dog walked as the internet term goes. Father Goodwin is the ultimate Giga Chad. Oh, that's cool. He's good in 2 as well. He's not in it for much, but he is in it. I mean, he's very cool. Very, very cool. Did you see the commies made the Timberwolves stand for a moment of silence because of that dumb bitch? They're more like sheep. Now, I thought that was AI. Because there was a video going around, and it was so clearly AI. Dude, I will say this, dude. The fucking boomers are absolutely getting one-shotted by AI. Like, I was hanging out with my mom, over Christmas. And, everyone's got their fucking phones in their hand, which I can't stand, by the way. Side note to my side note. I cannot stand when you're hanging out with someone and they're like, hey, look at this. I'm hanging out with you. I don't want to look at your fucking phone. I have my own phone. I have my own, brain rot feed that we all just fucking devour like the greedy pigs we are. But it's like, I don't, okay, oh, it's a cat hitting okay. Like, I love my mom and I will humor her every time. Don't get me wrong. But I'm just, Mike, when I'm hanging out with Mike, he's like, look at this. Like, fuck you. You make a joke. We're hanging out. I can't stand that. But anyway. So she shows me something. I was like, oh, I think that's AI. And she goes, oh, really? And I was like, yeah, I think that's AI. And she's like, how do you know? I was like, I'll go to the comments. And the top comment was AI. And she's like, oh, I don't like that. I don't like the fact that I'm going to look at everything and I don't know if it's real. I'm like, I know, it sucks, right? But it never even crossed her mind. She hadn't even considered that it was maybe AI. And I was like, oh, boy. Oh, boy, the boomers are going to get got by AI, man. They're going to get got bad. They are not ready. They are not ready for that. Boosh. What the fuck? Be nice to your mother if she wants to show you something. Watch. I just said I do. I just said that I do, of course, humor her every time, but I can't stand it. It doesn't mean I like it now. There's plenty of things like you have to do that you don't like. When you're dating someone, like, I'm dating a girl or whatever. I'm not currently, but I'm just saying, like, when I am dating a girl and I like got to go hang out with her parents, it's like, I don't want to do that. That sucks. Because I have to be on my best behavior. I have to I got to be charming. I got to put on an act. It's work. It's exhausting. They don't know me, but I have to, I have to make a good show of it and charm them and, keep the fucking plate spinning and the balls in the air. That's work. I don't want to do it, but you have to do it. Of course, it's my mom. I don't care, nod and smile. Obviously. Oh, okay. Fair. Shut the fuck up, Boosh. I will not learn if I don't fucking want to, okay, buddy? Okay, pal? Okay, buddy? All right. Matt not playing my link kind of gives up 80 lines. You're not going to shame me into playing that wacky video. Everyone can go watch. It's in the chat. Go watch it yourself. Go watch it if you want. Awkward dinner jokes. You don't live for those? Oh, boy. Absolute labor. A few years ago, I was at my dad's house, and it was kind of, this was probably, I don't know, 4 years ago, something like that, 4 or 5 years ago. And I was just getting, pretty good with bartending, and my dad's like, oh, make me a drink. I was like, all right, just whip together whatever. And he's like, oh, that's really good. Which I was like, I didn't like that he was so surprised. It was kind of felt like, I guess that implies you thought I was going to suck at this. But then my stepmom wanted a drink, and then, her mom wanted a drink. And now I'm fucking working all of a sudden. Now I'm behind a bar. I'm just making everybody cocktails at dinner. I'm like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to. I'm going to put out a tip jar. This is crazy. This sucks. I do this for work. I don't want to have to just sit here and just make cocktail after cocktail for you. I mean, I love you people. I'll do it, of course, but I'm just like, this stinks. Dodo, my mom sends me, well, let's just say she got a 2-week Facebook ban for it. That's hilarious. My friend Connor, I guess his sister has become really based recently, but kind of a little, QAnon-y based. And he's like, look into some of the stuff you're sending me. She says she sends him absolutely wacky shit, just kind of really out there, right-wing stuff. Whatever happened to QAnon? Are they still around? Was that a guy? I never got a QAnon drop. I would just hear about it. But is that still going? Did that just end? I don't know anything about it. I don't know. I'm not just trying to I don't know anything, YouTube. I don't know. It always just seemed like weird, boomer conspiracy theory shit. But I haven't heard anything about that. Is that around? I don't know. I don't know. People want me to cook every time I'm over. Like, dude, I'm not cooking at your house. I'll do it once in a while. You know, like my ex-girlfriend Leslie, like we would do dinner parties and stuff like that. And I would cook. I didn't mind. I'm pretty good at, firing up a steak. I have no problem doing that. But yeah, it's like I don't want my presence to be a job. What I do a lot now, let me share with you. What I do now is if I'm showing up to a party or whatever, I'll bring a pre-made cocktail, right? Like a big fucking jug of it or whatever, and then everyone could enjoy it like that. This way I don't have to fucking bartend for the whole night. That sucks. I do not like going to a party. I'm bartending for everyone. More like a room of guys in the federal building. Oh, that's QAnon. I thought that was like what your mom was sending you. I was like, what? Okay. QAnon isn't a thing anymore. They're doing Venezuela and Iran right now. That's pretty funny. Okay, folks. Well, that's going to do it for this episode of the MFer Podcast. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I hope. Look, we didn't fight tonight, so that's great. I'm not in a fucking fist fight with my chat. But no, tonight this was great, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Keep it out for more content. I'm still trying to churn out videos. Like I said, I've got a really interesting guest for either the end of this month or next month. And I will be trying to procure more guests for the MFer Podcast because I just think it's interesting. I like having conversations. I like doing this solo stream, but I do like just sitting down and talking with people, especially people that I don't know. It's like Vidge has been on the show a bunch of times, but how many hours of entertainment have me and Vidge put together? Hundreds and maybe even thousands. So I'm trying to get some more people on the show, so that, we could just talk some shit, talk some politics, talk whatever. But thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you had fun. Press that like button, guys. Smash the subscribe button on YouTube. Smash the subscribe. Smash it. Fucking smash it. Put the bell on for notifications. All that stuff. Follow me on X. Consider becoming a member of the channel. I'm sorry your heart's broken, Nosferatu. The key is to keep mentioning that you love X, food, or drink, and a person will eventually make it for you on their own. Don't corner them. Yes, subtle manipulation. See, it's a very female strategic operation there. All right, that's going to do it for this episode of the MFer Podcast. Thank you very much. I'll see you guys in a week for 99. We're 2 away from 100. The 100th might be the special guest. That would be fucking cool. If it works out like that, that would be really sick. I don't know if it's going to be, but I'll see you guys in a week. You have a fantastic one. Ta-ta. Bye now.